Okay, guys, I'm here to give you my Raw review. Pretty bad show, I actually think. I didn't really like this show, to be honest with you. That's just me though. I think it was just me because I was just tired. My dad's girlfriend and my sister were being as annoying as shit. So that might be why I didn't enjoy this show. Um, so yeah, let's just get right into it. So this Raw review is for May 6, 2013. Um, We get JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the Kid Lawler on commentary. Then it tells you what's going to happen. I actually want to read you a text real quick before I really start the review that I got from WWE. It says, I'll read you the first text. It says, breaking, how will Triple H respond to Brock Lesnar's workplace invasion of WWE headquarters? Tune in to Raw at 8 p.m. and stay with WWE.com for more. I think that's supposed to say like coverage, and then it says the same thing. So Brock Lesnar invaded WWE headquarters. They promoted that all night. I'm gonna just say this right now. It was fine, but obviously they ran out of stuff to do with these guys, because um, Brock because if he has to go destroy Triple H's office, um, then obviously he run out of stuff. And did you honestly think this was gonna piss Triple H off? He could just get another office. So I just don't understand. So yeah, let's then we get a John Cena promo. Oh man, oh my, oh my gosh, is this guy getting like ridiculous on the mic? He absolutely sucks. He comes out and talks about how he got in the ring last week to when he wasn't supposed to. So then he calls out Ryback for some odd reason. Vicky Guerrero comes out and she's going to allow John Cena and Ryback to pick the stipulations that they want to have for the WWE Championship match. Ryback comes out, so Cena says that he really doesn't care what kind of match he gets with Ryback, unless you as long as he gets the match. And Ryback says that his Achilles tendon will be his weakness, literally, because the match is a last man standing match. It makes sense since Cena can like barely stand, so Ryback could have a chance of winning. I still think Cena will win though. So, but yeah, but the WWE Championship match is going to be a last man standing match. Randy Orton's backstage heading to his match with Damien Sandow. We get Randy Orton versus Damien Sandow. This when Damien Sandow came out, he kind of sings a song mocking Randy Orton, and I wrote down what he said on my computer. So here's what he says. Here's what Damien Sandow said. Let me see, actually. Randy has voices in his head. Just watch it. Him puts me to bed, puts me to sleep. Randy walks down here on this ramp, and his expression stays the same. Does his pose up in the corner. Can't think of anything more lame. All of those tattoos are disgusting. All that oil on him is so heinous. I guess you get to sit back and watch me beat this ignoramus. I thought that was awesome right there. Great stuff, I think. Damien Sandow, that was just awesome right there. I don't know why you don't use this guy the way he should be. But other than that, Randy Orton just pretty much squashed him and wins with the RKO. I don't really know any big offense that Damien Sandow got in this match. And I think that's what was the problem with this Raw. No one really got any big moves in this match. Fandango's backstage, heading to a match with R-Truth. WWE app ad. And then we get Fandango versus R-Truth. Before I get into it, I was watching with Steve, my best friend, on Saturday, videos of R-Truth when he was a heel. He was an awesome heel, to be honest with you. I don't know what he did wrong, but yeah, he did stuff like he used to talk to two imaginary people, and he had segments with like guys like Triple H, and Triple H is talking to these imaginary people. He came out, I remember he was like dressed in this weird suit, like, the little Jimmy's come marching home, hoorah, hoorah, the little Jimmy's come marching home, hoorah, hoorah. And the Miz, Christian, and R-Truth were all in the win because they were pissed that they lost matches. So Christian and Miz were saying Riley, because at that time the Miz was feuding with Alex Riley. And the Miz says Randy, because at the time Christian was feuding with Randy Orton. And then they go back and forth with Riley and Randy, and R-Truth just comes up and says Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy. And there was another one where he couldn't even spell conspiracy. It's like when C-O and conspiracy. Awesome stuff right there. R-Truth used to be a great heel. I don't know what happened. But Chris Jericho comes out and he announces that there's going to be judges to judge Fandango during his match. And the judge is going to be is Chris Jericho, of course. And it's Tons of Funk, which is Sweet Tea and Brodus Clay. So R-Truth and Fandango have a match. They gave Fandango bad scores on his entrance, so he said, I am a better dancer than a guy that failed in Dancing with the Stars. Then as Fandango and R-Truth are having a match, R-Truth does dance moves while Fandango's outside the ring, and they all give him high scores. Sweet Tea and Chris Jericho give him a 10, but Brodus Clay gives him a 42. I thought that was awesome right there. So yeah, that was good stuff right there. But R-Truth just wins the match by countout. So I don't really know why that happened. Cancer talk. Triple H is talking about how his wife, he saved his wife from cancer by donating money. It was just kind of, I think, put Mother's Day over. Then it shows what happened to Daniel Bryan on SmackDown with his match with Ryback and him getting attacked by the Shield. Daniel Bryan interview, he says that the Shield won't be able to keep him down, and he challenges Ryback to a rematch. Ryback says no because Daniel Bryan's not 100%, and he's not half the man he used to be. So then Kane comes up and says, am I half the man that I used to be? And Ryback says that Kane's not the same monster he used to be, and there only can be one monster. So then the match later on is made official. Later in the night, it's going to be Ryback versus Kane. Then we get Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler with Big E Langston and AJ Lee. Not really. I didn't really care. After Del Rio gave Dolph Ziggler his backstabber, Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter come out. They do commentary. Zeb Colter just puts Jack Swagger over the whole time, talks about how he's great. He says he didn't care about that Mexican holiday Sunday. And he just says that he doesn't like Del Rio and he wants Del Rio and Ziggler to beat each other up. And what ends up happening is Del Rio has Dolph Ziggler in the cross arm breaker. Big E Langston pulls him out because when Swagger and Langston had a face off, and he throws Del Rio into Swagger. Jack Swagger throws Big E Langston into the steel post. Grabs a ladder and he charges the ladder at Ricardo Rodriguez, sending him into the barricade. He hits Del Rio with it. Then he hits Dolph with it. Then he hits Del Rio again. And then Jack Swagger looks strong. I think somehow Dolph has to look strong. I am looking forward to the ladder match, but I want to see some promos with these guys. They're just kind of letting the wrestling do the talking, and I think they need to do some promos. Then it shows what the stipulation will be for the WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules, Last Man Standing match. Yahoo's deal with WWE. I guess every half hour before Raw, there's going to be a pre-show like there is with the pay-per-views. A lot of wrestling there. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls are backstage. Caitlyn still doesn't know who a secret admirer is. And Natalya comes up and says that she's going to have the Great Khali go undercover and see who it is. But she's like, he's 7'1". How could he go undercover? And Natalya's like, he used to be a police officer. He's got this. Then the Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls leave, and we see the Bella Twins high-fiving. So maybe they're the ones that are up to it, or they're just high-fiving. But I don't get why they would send the Great Khali of all people to go undercover. Awkward. The Shield versus the Usos and Kofi Kingston. Decent match, pretty predictable. I think it's Seth Rollins pushes Kofi off the ropes and Dean Ambrose does like a face first move to Kofi Kingston and wins the match. So I definitely see the Shield going after some titles now. Dean Ambrose has pinned the United States champion, and they've been hinting that the Shield are gonna go after the tag titles. My opinion, I think Roman Reigns should be the one. Well, I think what's gonna happen was gonna have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns go for the tag belts, and Dean Ambrose go for the United States Championship since he's the one that pinned the champion. But I'm not exactly sure. We get a WWE Shop.com ad. We get Zack Ryder versus Antonio Cesaro. And announces during this match that Antonio Cesaro is going to face Randy Orton on main event this Wednesday. Pretty much Antonio Cesaro just beats him with the neutralizer, kind of a really squash match. Then he gets on the mic and says, "That's all the competition you have. There was no one," and he mentions like in the whole company, he mentions all the shows. I actually was surprised he said WWE Superstars, NXT, and Saturday Morning Slam because those shows are shit. Then he says that no one can match up to his credentials, but I think he's probably just gonna lose to Antonio Cesaro. Then it shows security footage of Brock Lesnar invading WWE headquarters. Then we get Paul Heyman via satellite. This time it shows it fully. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are outside. They're about to step in. Brock Lesnar shot this with his iPhone, but clearly it was obviously not an iPhone because it would have been shitty quality. Then Brock Lesnar walks in, and Paul Heyman's like, "Look at this. There's a poster of Sheamus. Why is Sheamus on the poster, but not Brock Lesnar?" Then he sees Andre the Giant. He's like, "Why the hell is Andre the Giant in here? He's been dead for 150 years." Then Paul Heyman the woman's like, "Hey, do you have an appointment?" And Paul Heyman's like, "Yeah, we have an email from Triple H up on the first floor." Then Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman go inside. And there's a guy in the elevator with them. Brock Lesnar's whistling the Fandango theme song, like the Fandango and da 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 da. I don't like that. I was just showing you. Then the guy leaves, and Paul Heyman's like, "Was it something we said?" Then Brock Lesnar gets out, and they see posters of more people, and they see The Rock. Is like, "Why is he on the poster of that?" And he's like, "Well, this is Triple H for you, not putting Brock Lesnar on the posters." Then Brock Lesnar gets in there, and it gets in where Triple H's office is going to be, and he finds a picture of Killer Kowalski, and he says, "Why is I gotta let my cat out? Why is there a picture of Killer Kowalski? Who did he ever train?" Then a woman, they see a woman at her desk, and he's like, "Are you Triple H's? You actually look a hell of a lot better than Stephanie." Then one of the person says, "Hey, you can't be in here." And Brock Lesnar says, just sit down and don't say anything." Then we get into the office, and Brock Lesnar's observing it. He destroys the laptop that Triple H has, destroys I think the telephone, he destroys the computer, he destroys they also see Triple H, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. Like, why does he have respect for the Triple H, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels, but not Brock Lesnar? Then he destroys like the big W logo that he has by using like glass and stuff to break at the TV. Then he tips it over, and he destroys he does a sledgehammer, and he destroys that, and he destroys like the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Paul Heyman says that he tried to restrain Brock Lesnar from hurting Triple H all his career, well, most of the time, but he says that he's no longer going to do that because since Triple H gave him the pedigree. Then he says that Brock Lesnar is going to destroy Triple H at Extreme Rules. Triple H then comes out and says that why doesn't Brock Lesnar come out and say this to my face? And he knows the meaning of Extreme. He mentions the birth of DX, when he was in the Attitude Era, and when he destroyed Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Then he says that Triple H wants Brock Lesnar to come face him next week, and that his other office is in the ring. That was pretty much it. Pretty interesting stuff, but it's just It's just that they're running out of stuff. So I think next week is gonna be the final time they'll come face to face before the match, and then I think Lesnar's gonna win the match now. I want Lesnar to win, and I think he will win. Because it's just I want him to win. It doesn't make sense for Triple H way. I think Brock Lesnar needs like to be the monster that he is. So I think that's what should happen. Then it shows Daniel Bryan and Ryback backstage when they pretty much how they set up Kane versus Ryback. Then AJ Lee and the Bella Twins versus Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls. AJ Lee dominates one of Cameron and tags Caitlyn, tries to attack the Bella Twins, but they don't want anything to do with Caitlyn. Then Caitlyn spears AJ. That's it. Mark Henry's backstage going to talk. He comes out and talks about how Sheamus has embarrassed him. And Sheamus is going to come out and act all tough, but he actually is tough. And he says that Sheamus is not... and he says that at Extreme Rules, him and Sheamus are going to have a match that's unforgettable. I have a feeling it will be forgettable, though. Then Sheamus comes out and says that... makes fun of Mark Henry about his jokes, about everything. Mark Henry says, "Can you ever get serious?" Then Sheamus like, "Oh, I'm serious. At Extreme Rules, I'm gonna be serious." Then Mark Henry says, "We're not gonna wait till Extreme Rules. They want to fight. They're about to have a match. I guess they're assuming that they were gonna have the match now, but he was already scheduled to have a match with Wade Barrett. During the match, Sheamus throws Wade Barrett. Well, teases throw Wade Barrett into the Mark Henry, but he dives off the chair. I should mention he was on commentary for that match, but he kept telling Michael Cole to shut up, but he would never shut up, so he just got off commentary. But then after that though, he blow kicks Mark Henry, beats Wade Barrett with the blow kick, and then Mark Henry took a belt off one of the EMT guys and whipped Sheamus with it and gave him the world's strongest slam on the floor. So it's probably gonna be like a slap match that they're gonna have. That's what I'm assuming. So yeah, that's my thoughts right there. And I should mention after Randy Orton won his match with Damien Sandow, Big Show knocked him out. WrestleMania 29 DVD ad, Raw ad, and announces that Chris Jericho and Fandango are gonna have a dance off. Could be interesting. And I think they also announced the highlight reel. I think Ryback will be on the highlight reel. Ryback or Ziggler. I don't remember. I think it's going to be Ryback, though. I think it will be Ryback. Then we get Kane versus Ryback. Decent match. It wasn't bad. Ryback throws Kane into the barricade. Kane suplexes him, scoop slams him. Goes to go up the top rope. Ryback gives him the shell shocked off the top rope and then wins the match. The Shield comes out and Ryback's in trouble. And then Daniel Bryan tries to come out and even the odds, but Ryback leaves, so Bryan's left to himself. Because Kane's down after his match with Ryback. Cena comes out and tries to help, but the Shield is surrounded. Ryback comes in with a chair, and to even the odds, Daniel Bryan does a suicide dive to, I think it was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and when Cena's about to give Roman Reigns the FU, Ryback hits Cena with the chair in the ribs and the spine. Well, the gut and the spine, I should say. So that's Raw. I actually think now talking about it, it was pretty shitty. Everything was pretty much predictable. You knew Ryback was going to be Kane. You knew the Usos and Kofi Kingston were not going to beat the Shield. The Shield was going to still be undefeated. You knew Antonio Cesaro was going to beat Zack Ryder. You knew that Sheamus was going to beat Wade Barrett, and you knew Randy Orton was going to beat Damien Sandow. And that Divas match, kind of had a feeling Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls will win. That's Raw though. 2 weeks in a row, Raw was shit. If it's shit next week, that will be my last Raw review for a while. And I'm still looking for a new member for CM Brothers. I want to see if anyone like commented or sent videos or something. And another thing, I just want to say too, where are they really going with this? Anything? Like honestly, why the hell do I want to talk about this? It's just so bland. Okay, and predictable. WrestleMania was pretty much predictable. The only match I think wasn't predictable. Okay, you'll see it was gonna be nothing. Everything was predictable at Mania. Um, okay, actually I knew that was gonna happen. Pretty predictable WrestleMania this year too. They need to win some. Like the Shield, they didn't really do anything with the Shield this Monday really either. I'm just not really into it. I'm just not interested now. SmackDown is right now way better than Raw, to be honest with you. That's my thoughts on Raw though. So if Raw's shit next week, you will not see a Raw review for a while until it becomes good. But that's pretty much it, guys. See you later. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, is it still going? Sorry about that, guys. My webcam decided to be a dick. Alright, now I'm done.